Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, you got your chocolate and my peanut butter. Peanut Butter Cup Stout is a 7.75% stout, and Bourbon Barrel Aged Peanut Butter Cup Stout is a 12% Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout from Oddside Ales in Grand Haven, Michigan. I don't think I've ever said something that went down to the hundredths of a percent for a beer before, but Peanut Butter Cup Stout is a yearly release from Oddside that I've somehow managed to totally miss year over year. Now, today I'm bringing another twofer, this time with Peanut Butter Cup and the Bourbon Barrel Aged version. Now, the last time I did a peanut butter twofer was for Grand Armory's Nut of Your Business and the Barrel Aged version of that same beer. I'll leave a link somewhere, I don't know, around here, down there, somewhere around there in that area for you guys to watch. I'm one of those people who usually don't get a whole lot of peanut butter flavor out of a beer that advertises peanut butter. So these are going to have to be fully loaded for me to get that peanut butter taste, that peanut butter feeling. So with that being said, let's take a look at the labels. We'll get these into the glasses. Fun fact, in Dutch, peanut butter is actually called peanut cheese because the word butter is only supposed to be used with products that contain actual butter. And I don't know if you've noticed, but peanut butter doesn't have butter in it. All right, so we're going to look at the Peanut Butter Cup Stout first. On the front of this, it has Oddside front and center. One thing to notice, this can, or one thing to mention, this can is like a black can, but this label on it is a paper wrap on it. I haven't unwrapped it yet. I probably will after I drink these. But it says Oddside around the edge of the can. The top edge of the can has Oddside and the 3 hop cones. And then it has these 3 peanut butter cups, each in some form of elation. Looks like they're doing like a kick line, like Rockettes. And it says Peanut Butter Cup Stout. Stout brewed with lactose, chocolate, and natural flavorings of peanut butter and roasted peanuts added. That sounds great to me. And then on the side here, it says Oddside Peanut Butter Cup Stout. The name says it all. Flavors of chocolate and peanut butter come together with this delicious stout. 7.75%. Again, I've never seen anything that says blank dot blank blank, like to the hundredth spot. And this was brewed on February 13th, 2020. And then it has brewed and canned by Oddside Ales, Grand Haven, Michigan. OddsideAles.com has their Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube links. And then the government warning, of course. And that's what is consisting on the Peanut Butter Cup Stout. So if we move over to the barrel-aged version, it is pretty much the same can. I mean, very similar. Actually, it's a little bit different, but similar in some other ways. So it has Oddside around the top again. It's a black matte can. It has a paper label on it. It says Oddside. It has the 3 hop cones. And now it has 3 different, the same 3 peanut butter cups. But this time they're like log rolling on these different barrels. It's like they're walking on these barrels. And underneath it, it says Bourbon Barrel Aged Peanut Butter Cup Stout. On the back, it has the Oddside logo again. It says Bourbon Barrel Aged Peanut Butter Cup Stout. How could we make our Peanut Butter Cup Stout even tastier? We aged it in bourbon barrels, the same great flavor of peanut butter and chocolate with the added complexities of barrel aging. This is 12%. So we went from 7.75% having a barrel-aged Imperial Stout to now 12%. This one was manufactured on February 19th, 2020, a matter of about 6 days different and a few hours. This Peanut Butter Cup Stout was at 10:58 in the AM, and this Bourbon Barrel-Aged Peanut Butter Cup Stout was at 1:55 in the PM. And just to mention pricing, now I'm not sure how much the Peanut Butter Cup Stout was. I bought this in singles. I bought 2 singles from 8 Degrees Play-Doh. I don't know how much it went for. I want to say it was probably about $4 a can. I don't have my receipt really handy to look at, but I know for a fact that this bourbon barrel-aged version, I could only buy 2. The max was 2 at the store that I bought it from. It wasn't 8 Degrees Play-Doh. It was a place closer to me. This was $7.99 a can. If you don't believe me, here's the price tag on the bottom. $7.99 or about $8 a can. I don't even know on the east side here of the state where you could buy a 4-pack of this, but I'm sure on the west side it's everywhere because that's how Oddside Ales goes. And then on the side here, it says brewed and canned by Oddside Ales in Grand Haven, Michigan. And all the pertinent same social media stuff that I talked about earlier. So now I'm going to move on to the glasses. I'm going to use these, they're kind of like, I don't even know what you call these. They're like higher lipped I think they're Belgian glasses, but they're higher lipped snifters basically. And I got these from Crate and Barrel. So we're going to start with the Peanut Butter Cup Stout. First off, we're going to move these over to the side here, and then we're going to crack this open and put a nose on the can, of course. Put a nose on the can here. Oh, like I said, I don't usually taste peanut butter, or peanut butter has to just be like over the top, but I'm smelling peanut butter and chocolate hardcore out of this. So let's go ahead and pour this. It looks a little thin on the pour here. I can see through the stream. Absolutely. It doesn't look like a super dark stout to me, but that's weird. It feels like there's more in this can, but there isn't. It felt like I was not done pouring it, but I'm looking in the can here, and yeah, I mean, there's nothing else in here. Okay, so anyways, we'll see how that one turns out. So we'll hold this up to that's super weird. Actually, let's look at the head here first. It totally threw me off base. Yeah, I got about a finger worth of head. It's like an off-white. It almost looks like a porter to me. Like the way that it poured, the way that it's in the glass here, the head itself isn't very dark. It's not like a dark colored head. It's just a little off-white, actually. It's a finger's worth. You can see from the overhead, it's kind of compact. It's really still held together very nicely. Let's go ahead and hold up to the light here. It is dark. I mean, it's not like it's something out of the ordinary thin, but I feel like it's opaque, but I feel like there is almost something going, like it's almost thin enough for me to just barely be able to see out of it. So let's go ahead and let's put a nose on it here. Yeah, I'm getting a whole lot more peanut butter and chocolate smell. It smells like a peanut butter cup. It smells like, I'm just going to throw a brand name out there. It smells like a Reese's peanut butter cup to me. It smells delicious. I want to just drink this right now, the way that smells. But we're going to, for science's sake, we're going to move this over to the side here. We're going to open up the Bourbon Barrel Aged Peanut Butter Cup Stout. Wrong side here. Let's go ahead and crack this one. And I'm going to smell this one too. I love doing side-by-sides of stuff that's barrel-aged versus the non-barrel-aged version, because you can really kind of, see what the difference is. Oh, this one smells... See, so this one smells like a Reese's peanut butter cup, just flat out. This one smells like bourbon. Like I'm not getting the subtleties of the peanut butter. I'm not getting the subtleties of the chocolate. I can't smell really anything over just that straight bourbon smell. So let's go ahead and pour this one here. This one's considerably darker. Coming out of the can, it has a whole lot more darkness to it. There's a lot more of a body to it as I pour it. I guess they're about the same kind of height, and we'll set this can over here. But yeah, as you can see, the head on this one is what I was expecting this one to look like. It's a little bit darker brown. It's got a little bit more of a tan color to it, so it's a little bit of a lighter shade of brown. Yeah, it's about a finger's worth of head. I want to say it's a little bit less than this one was overall. Let's go ahead and hold it up to the light here. It looks darker. Like this one was borderline. As I'm even looking at it from here, I know the camera's not going to be able to pick up the subtleties, but this one looks a little bit lighter brown, whereas this one looks a lot darker. It's not black, but it's definitely a lot darker, and I'm not seeing any kind of influence of my hand in front of the light here for this. Let's hold these two right side by side against each other, and you can see from the overhead, you can see the head on it. Like the head on this one's totally gone, and this one's fading quick. But this one's a little bit darker. This one's almost white. Like in comparison, it's almost white. This one's almost gone. So let's go ahead and put a nose on the glass here. Yeah, again, just getting a big volume of bourbon. I'm not getting the subtleties of the peanut butter and chocolate that I was getting out of this one. This one smells almost exclusively like bourbon. And I'm like, from the smell, the differences, I'm expecting this one to taste almost exclusively like bourbon. So let's go ahead and try this first one out, peanut butter cup. Just for symmetrical sake, let's just set these over to the sides here. We'll point it over in the directions, and there we go. All right, so down the hatch here for the peanut butter cup stout. Oh yeah. The mouthfeel is, I'm not going to lie here, the mouthfeel is very light. It doesn't have a thickness like I'd expect from a stout to have. It's not like a medium thickness. It's very light. Almost, it's on the thin side. It doesn't have the mouthfeel that I would expect from a stout. I mean, it's 7.75%. So it's not like a low ABV beer, but it just has like a lighter mouthfeel to it. But it has right up front, has a lot of peanut butter, a lot of chocolate. The chocolate that I'm getting is almost like a sweet chocolate. At first flavor, that's when a lot of that peanut butter comes through. On the swallow is more where that like that lighter chocolate flavor comes through. And then on the aftertaste, that lighter chocolate dissipates quite a bit. And I'm getting like, that's where I'm getting like this almost like dark chocolate flavor and almost like coffee notes that come through. And I'm sure that a lot of that has to do with the roasted malts and stuff that go into a stout. But yeah, that's one of the better peanut butter beers that I've had. I still think that Monkey Butter Porter is like from, I can't think of who Monkey Butter Porter is from right now, but I think that has the best peanut butter flavor that I've ever had. This one is really close. It's not quite as in-your-face peanut butter. Again, I'm not a big peanut butter taster in beer. I love peanut butter, but I don't get a lot of flavor in beer from peanut butter. But this one's pretty, it has, I can taste, there's a pronounced peanut butter flavor in this one. So now we're going to move on to the barrel-aged version here. Again, just big bourbon notes on the nose. First off, the mouthfeel is much more pronounced, much heavier, much thicker, much more viscous. It is a little bit, it's more of what I was expecting this one to be. Like, the mouthfeel is just more like borderline syrupy. The flavor on this one, I'm not picking up as much on the peanut butter, on the chocolate, but it's more complex. There's more things going on in this one. Like, I know that on the nose, the aroma was more of a bourbon, kind of in-your-face bourbon. The peanut butter, the chocolate was not, there wasn't much of that smell in the aroma of this one, but the flavor has a lot of bourbon up front. It has that, because that heaviness, the thickness, the syrup kind of characteristic of the mouthfeel, it's just like a totally different experience. This one is more of this, I'm getting a lot of bourbon up front, and on the aftertaste, on the, like what's sitting on my tongue, and I'm sure it's not in the whole list, but I'm almost picking up this kind of coconut flavor to it. I'm not getting a lot of peanut butter. I'm not getting a lot of chocolate, maybe dark chocolate on the finish, but I'm getting this almost coconut kind of whole encapsulation of the flavor is this coconut with a chocolate to it. So as where this one, the regular peanut butter cup has more of a peanut butter cup flavor, this one's more of a Mounds, like it's not an Almond Joy because I'm not getting a nuttiness out of it, but I'm getting a Mounds because the bourbon flavor kind of adds like this, obviously the bourbon smell, the whole kind of bourbon barrel aging process adds more of this bourbon characteristic. There's a slight chocolate in there, but again, that coconut is just like this through and through kind of flavor that just keeps kind of coming and going and coming and going, and it's like it's like it's all wrapped in this. The bourbon subsides, and then all the coconut's kind of in there, and it's not chocolate and peanut butter anymore. There's a slight chocolate flavor in there, but the peanut butter is just, I feel, me personally, it feels like it's just kind of wiped out here. So let's go back to, I want to try them just back to back. I don't know. I can't, it's too close to call. They're apples and oranges. It's like they have one beer here and they have a separate beer here, and it's not just the bourbon barrel aging process that's separating the two. Now, by no means do I think that either of these are, not worthy of a pickup. I think both of them are worthy of a pickup, but I think it's just weird or odd side. I think that it's just odd that this is like one kind of beer. It has like the peanut butter, the chocolate, it has the roasty kind of flavors on the tail end. And this one on this side is more of that kind of bourbon characteristic, and then the chocolate and like a coconut. Coconut's nowhere on the label of this, but it's a bourbon barrel aged peanut butter cup. I'm not getting any peanut butter and I'm barely getting chocolate. It's just a lot of bourbon and it's a lot of coconut. And on this one, I'm getting the whole package. For me, the peanut butter flavor was really up front. There's a whole lot of it. It's not something where they skimped on it, where some other ones, like I feel that, you know, I don't get a lot of peanut butter flavor. If I get peanut butter, it's kind of like a peanut butter or a peanut dusty kind of flavor. This one isn't that. I'm getting peanut butter and I'm getting chocolate and it tastes like a peanut butter cup. But this one tastes like I said, it's like a bourbon infused a bourbon infused Mounds bar. You know, just the chocolate, just the coconut, and that's it. Everybody has different palates. Obviously, everybody tastes stuff differently. They're both very good. I like them for different reasons. I wish that this one was a little bit thicker, had a little bit more of the mouthfeel that the bourbon barrel aged version has, but I wish that this one had more of the peanut butter, less of that kind of coconut. Again, now I'm really curious to see what the temperature is on these. Let's try these out. 50 to 55 is typically what you like to look at a stout at. This is hitting, it's dropping into that range now. This is at about 54%. I'm sorry, 54 degrees. Actually, 53.8. And then this one, we're going to put that in the same deal here. This one's, again, 54. Holding steady at 54 or 54.1. Very similar, very close. It's just odd to me. Like, I don't know why they're so different. But anyways, like if I had to pick between the two, it's very difficult because they're apples and oranges. And I like the flavor that this brings. I like the bourbon flavor that it brings. I like coconut. I'm a huge coconut fan. The coconut flavor that I'm getting out of this is not artificial at all. I'm a big peanut butter cup fan. I mean, who isn't? And this one's really good too. So I say that, you know, do a little taste test, do a little side-by-side of your own, and let me know what you think. But I think both of these are really worthwhile, but I think they're looking at two different crowds. I feel like this one is looking for the peanut butter cup crowd. This one's looking more at that Mounds crowd. I wish this one had a little bit more of a thicker mouthfeel. I wish this one had a little bit more peanut butter, and that's how I feel about these two. All right, friends, that has been Peanut Butter Cup Stout, and it's Bourbon Barrel Aged Bro. Have you had these before? Have you had them both? Do you have a favorite, or do you have a favorite peanut butter beer? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there, if you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell, because I'm here talking about beer twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's all for free for viewers just like you, and you might miss your newest favorite if you're not subscribed. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for watching, and remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries, and most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.